Lord and Miller are set to direct Andy Weir, the author of The Martian's new novel Artemis, for when it comes out. And out of the three of us here, I think only one of us can say that they've seen the cover and will be reading the book really soon. And it ain't me or Corey.
Not soon enough, really.
So Patrick, I'm gonna throw to you because I'm assuming you're a big Andy Weir fan, since you're dying to read the book.
Well, a big Andy Weir fan. I've seen The Martian and I own a copy of it, and so that's all of his work that I know of.
Yeah.
Besides Artemis, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to The Martian's great, and so I'm expecting that from Artemis, and hopefully it won't let me down. But I've been hearing great things, so.
And that's the thing too, is Andy Weir is still pretty young in his career of being a writer. The Martian was his first book, wasn't it? Essentially, he wrote it online and then got the book deal and got it published and stuff. But he's not had a lot of experience, but it was just such a blast off of quality and it hit the audience right that now you get Miller and Lord wanting to direct your movie for your new book that isn't even out yet, and so you have no idea how successful it is.
I don't know if I'd want them to direct my movie if I was anywhere. They did a great job on the Lego movie. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I don't think lightning can strike twice. I've seen what they've done on Last Man on Earth. I watched that show. I've seen every episode and I'm continuing to watch it, but I'm kind of hate watching it now. I really can't stand most of the characters in that show. Mm-hmm. It's trying to be funny and it falls flat. It's tiresome. And I'm glad they were taken off of the Han Solo movie. And I think I can't see a Han Solo movie with Lego movie style jokes or Last Man on Earth style jokes. And so thinking of them, and I've seen some other stuff they've done. I can't remember.
Well, the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies.
Yeah. And see, I can't see that working. Yeah, I can't see that stuff working for Han Solo. And I don't know I haven't read Artemis, but if it's anything a serious sort of story like The Martian, I can't see that working.
It sounds like a murder mystery on the moon from what I got from the description of it. And it kind of like a Blade Runner-y noirish novella, but that's just a guess. Again, without reading it, I don't know, but it does follow up with the hard science stuff in the way that he did with The Martian.
Yeah, the article quotes it as this. They describe Artemis as an adrenaline-charged crime caper that features smart, detailed world building based on real science. It centers on Jasmine Bashara, aka Jazz, just another too smart, directionless 20-something chafing in the constraints of her small town and dreaming of a better life. Except the small town happens to be named Artemis, and it's the first and only city on the moon. She goes into debt to pay for a job, and blah, 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 blah. Hilarity ensues from there.
Which is a problem, because it doesn't sound like a story where hilarity should ensue.
Is there a wacky sidekick character that comes in?
There will be now.
Yeah.
Or they go against type. They go against what we know them for. And I'm with you. I dropped out of Last Man on Earth pretty early on. I find that Will Forte, who I like a lot, his comedy is really hit or miss for me. Fred Armisen, same thing. It's like my wife kept watching all the episodes of Portlandia, and she's like, I keep thinking it's going to be funny, but it's never been funny, and I don't know why I haven't learned my lesson yet. I'm like, yeah, I know that completely, because, again, I can enjoy either of those people in small doses, but a full thing with them in the leads, it's like their style of humor is not for me. And the style of humor in a lot of the current comedy stuff, like the 21 Jump Street movies, is not for me. It's just, it seems like modern humor is not where I'm not clicking with it, which does not mean that there's anything wrong with it. It just means that I'm not the right audience. But I could see Lord and Miller doing something different because they're capable. They're incredibly capable. And the Lego movie is a stellar example of a movie where it's just like, wow, this lands on pretty much every level. It's just a matter of what does it take? And for Andy Weir, it was probably just, well, someone's cut me a huge check, and,
but
I get to spend forever.
Yeah, I look at this honestly as like looking at their Wikipedia, the Wikipedia page where it has their film history and their television history. It is a lot of comedies that they're in here doing, and stuff like that. So I agree with you, Corey, honestly, 100%. I think it is them trying to break out of the break out of doing the comedies.
I mean, they did my favorite movie of all time, which is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I cannot tell you how much that movie just grabbed my attention. Book I never read as a kid, so I had no connection to it at all up until seeing that, and I'm like, holy crap, this is everything to me. But yeah, I don't know. I guess one thing you could say is, well, we saw that the audience didn't show up for the new Blade Runner, so a super serious sci-fi movie may be something that Hollywood wants to avoid right now.
Maybe we're just too much of a group of nerds and give too much importance to Artemis, because we're like, oh, Artemis, it's Andy Weir. This has to be. Maybe Hollywood's looking at it as like, yeah, this is book by the sci-fi. Yeah, he had that one thing, but yeah, let's see if these guys can give it a shot. Maybe they don't care about it enough to give it to somebody with the background that you might expect for this sort of film. Maybe there's like, oh yeah, we'll give them a shot. Maybe they can do this sort of thing.
Yeah. If you look at the career of Stephen King, and you see that his biggest hits were things that were more controlled by other people, like The Shining, for decades, and now with it, we finally see something that both looks and feels like what Stephen King has written and earned successes at the same time. Maybe it takes a long time as a writer to get your due for that to happen. When the amount of time that Neil Gaiman has had stuff in development, and we finally got American Gods, and it seems respectful to the source and to him as the creator of it, and on top of that turned into a really great property in a cinematic sense. Maybe that's just the expectation is, okay, yeah, you got lucky once, let's see if you can get lucky again. We're not ignoring the fact that you had a huge success in both your book and the film that came out, but this is only number 2, and these guys are interested in it, and we're interested in them more than we're interested in you and your story. So
yeah, I honestly, I think Beatmaster has it pretty spot on. This could be the I think, was it Fox that's doing the production of this? That this could be them banking on Lord and Miller doing a Russo brothers twist. Because before Captain America Civil War, they were mainly doing, they were mainly known for directing episodes of Community and, executive producing, seasons 1 through 3 and then season 5, or, Arrested Development, or, all like more comedies than, the dramas. So this could be them trying to say like, hey, can you guys do this too? Because look at the Russos, they're now directing one of the biggest movie franchises in the world, and we want to try to do that with you. This could be them, more of a, to put it in television terms, them doing a pilot to then see if it gets picked up for series. That picking up for series would be them doing more dramatic, Oscar-worthy directorial stuff, as opposed to the comedies that might get nominated but don't stand a chance.
The only thing I'd say to that is that the Russos were coming from the TV stuff directly into the film stuff, whereas Lord and Miller are already Lord and Miller.
Yeah.
You don't hire them on because you don't like what they do or because you want them to do things a different way. You hire them on because of their successes that they've already had, and it's up to them. I think they're picking their projects now, whereas the Russos came in and they were picked for something because they showed something that was appealing to the people who were in charge, Kevin Feige or whatever. So I think it's a different level of control at that point. But again, they absolutely, I think, are capable enough that they could surprise us, or they could do it the way that theirs vision is. And since we don't know the book, it maybe their vision is exactly right for what Andy is wanting to do.
Yeah. No,
Well,
definitely.
if Andy Weir has a time traveling duffel bag, then these are the guys to handle this.
Wow. Yeah.
For more on this Galactic Network podcast, go to gncast.com. That's GNCASTS.com.